Wiro, and he was like, oh no, Hayate was bugged. Gotcha. His punish didn't. Yeah.
Did it fix it?
I don't know. Actually, I haven't jungled him.
Okay. All right. So I think they're gonna start it.
Cool.
So we'll probably just
start over. Yeah.
Introduce a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Bag, Twitch TV, abrownbag. I'm a full-time streamer, and I am an ex-pro player for Team Liquid for Arena of Valor, and I played on the same team as Dave for that duration. I don't play pro anymore, but it was really exciting. It was fun. It was a cool experience. But now I have contracts to stream like full-time for the game, so I'm still playing Arena of Valor, but I'm streaming it more as a content creator and less as a pro player.
There are many e-games streamer now in America.
Like esport games, or what do you mean?
Yeah, esport games.
Yeah. So in NA's sort of in the battle royale craze. So that's like what is really popular, things like Fortnite or Apex Legends, PUBG, things like that. But obviously some of the biggest games of all time are MOBA, Dota 2, and League of Legends being some of the biggest streamed esports games of all time in America. And as far as mobile goes, that kind of stuff is like relatively new. The biggest ones would be Clash Royale and Arena of Valor, and those are probably the only two really doing big things in the esports. I know PUBG Mobile and Fortnite Mobile are both trying to like put together some stuff as well, and so people are excited for that, but it's relatively new here. I'd say in general. But yeah, as far as like esports, like games or like computer console games, they've been around a long time. You know, like CSGO has always been widely popular here. A lot of shooters and then original MOBAs, yeah.
But your understanding, who are actually playing the mobile games in America now?
What do you mean?
I mean, for the publics, who are actually playing mobile games now?
Who's playing mobile games like in America, like here?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a wide variety because mobile games kind of have a bad rap in NA. Rewind. Gaming in general kind of has a bad rap in North America. Like I felt in the other world, it's much more accepted, and being pro player, being a streamer, esports, and that is widely more accepted as a actual job or as like something you can do and not just like a hobby. Whereas in America, it's had a stigma. Like if you grew up playing games, you know, you weren't very cool. You were like a loser, right? And it wasn't till recently that stigma's kind of gone away. Like there's always been a huge amount of gamers in America, but it was like a frowned upon thing, right? And so now with like, you know, people becoming more popular different ways off YouTube and Instagram and Twitch and streaming and things like that, it's just within the last year or two becoming more acceptable that parents are like, oh, if my kid plays games and he makes money, like that's okay here. And so I'd say it sort of like, it ranges. Like it really ranges from the amount of people. Mobile in general tends to be a younger crowd. Obviously attracts a younger audience. It's kind of like their first foray into gaming, right? Like if you're a kid and you have a phone, you can already start playing mini games and stuff, and then that can kind of get you into what people here consider more hardcore gaming, which would be PC. But I think that is honestly just a stigma as well. Like, so because gaming in general is like looked down upon and not like accepted until like the last as a normal thing until the last couple of years, mobile has been an even pushed down more. So like even within the gaming community, there's a negative stigma on people who play phone games. And it doesn't really have to do with, it has to do with the quality of games. So when phone games first came out here, they were very low quality. And they kind of got a bad rap for that. And then the revenue model is very frowned upon. So it's like microtransactions and having a free game is like really popular because it does really well and it makes a lot of money compared to all games. Mobile games make an insane amount of money, largely more than a lot of the PC games. And so that model wasn't very liked by a lot of, you know, original gamers who are used to, I pay one time and I get everything, versus, well, I'm just buying things the whole time. And where mobile kind of went wrong in the beginning is they went pay to win model. So you could buy stuff that made you like better in the game because that was an incentive for them to spend money on mobile, and it made a lot of money. And so thankfully, like much higher quality games like Arena, Valor, Clash Royale, things like that have come out, and a lot of them have shifted away from being that pay-to-win model to like actual like good like it's still microtransaction based, which even now PC games are following suit with their battle passes and things like that. But it's much more it's much more accepted, I guess, is what I would say. Still looked down upon, which is unfortunate, but I think that could definitely change within the next couple years.
Mm-hmm. But are you only streaming on mobile games? Or?
So I started out completely mobile games. So now I've played kind of everything. I do variety, but yes, 100%. I started out with Clash Royale, and then I sort of played a bunch of different things like Brawl Stars from there. And when I first got introduced to Arena Valor, I had played a lot of League, a lot of LOL when I was in college, and it was my first ever MOBA, so I really loved the genre. And having it on a phone, I was very skeptical. I was like, I don't know if I want a MOBA on a phone. I couldn't see how that would work really well. And the esports org that I was with at the time, they were called Hammers Esports. They had access to the European beta of Arena Valor, and they're like, no, you have to play it. They put it on my phone, and I was like, wow, this is actually done really well, like super high. Like, it blew away my expectations for what I thought could be done on a phone, especially for a MOBA, because there's a lot of things you have to do right on mobile for it to be high quality. Like game times have to be short, and controls have to feel good. Games have to be kind of inherently casual, but then have the ability to be competitive. Especially for America, for NA, we like inherently hyper casual games that can be taken to like the next level. That's why things like Hearthstone or even Fortnite is super popular, because they were built for sort of a younger audience, more casual audience, but they have the ability that if you put a lot of time and effort in, the skill cap becomes very high. And I just saw that in Valor on a mobile game, and I picked that up right away. And that's where most of my revenue source came from initially, but obviously now I'm doing all sorts of stuff as well as waiting for new things to come out.
But are there many people or fans following such kind of a streamer in America now?
Are there like opportunities? I would say there's more every year. Right now is kind of at a lull, especially for mobile gaming. I think when Clash and Valor first launched, it was really at like, oh, this is going to take off, and this is sort of a peak thing. But like I said, because of like stigmas and people's just sort of gut reactions, like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that on a phone, I think that really hindered it. And even though we've had huge, like Valor has huge prize pools for esports, even Clash does. And even though it's pushed in that regard, it's really failed to have a sort of like a large capture, especially here, because I know obviously the Chinese version is huge over there. And I know that's got to be hard for over here for people to just not really, pick it up like they do other places. I know for me, it sucks because I want a bunch of people to play that way. You get better games, you get better players, you get all sorts of cool things, and you have a lot of people playing, and you can play with more people because they know the game. But I would say right now, not as much. Like mobile's kind of at a lull, waiting for something to really bring it back.
Have you ever heard or played Honor of King?
So I've heard the game. I only played it once. So when I was on Team Liquid, we were in Korea. We were boot camping and we were practicing for the AIC. And our mid lane mage Jackie, NY Jackie at the time, he was really into the Chinese version, Honor of Kings, and so he had because I didn't have Chinese accounts, I couldn't actually download the game and access it, but he let me use his to download it on my phone, and we played together in Korea. But I haven't played it since then, just because. And I don't have a Chinese account, so I can't really make an account on it. But even if I went and made one and did it, the ping would be really bad and be hard to have a good game. Like playing on the EU servers for Arena Valor, I had upwards of 200 ping, which is it's really bad. But when it's all you had, you learn to live with it. But now that we had official NA servers for Valor and you get 20 ping, you never want to go back. And when I was in Korea, we had 10 ping, and it was awesome, and I miss it every day. And now I'm at the point where I don't want to drop, I don't want to drop any lower. I'd rather the game come here, and then I can play it at 10 ping instead of 400.